What if the life that you'd come to know as your own wasn't really yours after all? Hello, I am Courtney Hines, and I am the author of False Awakenings. False Awakenings is the story of Paul Wakefield, a successful television writer living in Los Angeles. On a weekend visit home to Baltimore, Paul meets and falls in love with Emerson Matthews, who seems to fill a void in Paul's life. Almost as if in a fairy tale, Paul and Emerson fall madly in love. Paul convinces Emerson to move to LA with him. They get married and begin their life together. However, their fairy tale ending does not last long, as Paul's life begins to deteriorate as he is plagued with a mysterious voice during his waking hours and haunted with vivid nightmares during his nights. Soon, Paul begins to realize that the life that he knew as his own may not be his after all. I would describe False Awakenings as a mystery suspense novel. It starts off as your typical love story, but it evolves into a murder mystery. The book is for anyone, really. The love story between Paul and Emerson really draws you in, and you feel like you're falling in love. You find yourself really connecting with Paul, and you know, when he starts going crazy and losing his grip on reality, you kind of feel like you're going crazy right along with him. And with this book, you're constantly wondering what's going to happen next. I would suggest this book for anyone who enjoys a good love story with an unexpected twist. I came up with the title False Awakenings because a false awakening is a dream about waking up from sleeping when in actuality you're still sleeping. A dream within a dream. The whole premise of False Awakenings is what's real. And when you have a false awakening, you really believe for a moment that you're awake and that everything going on around you is real. In the book, Paul is living in two different realities, and he's trying to figure out what's real. The cover was designed by a good friend of mine named Lawrence Thornton, and he did an amazing job. The cover is an alley, and I chose this particular image because the alley is so central to the story. Paul is constantly haunted by this alley and what happened there. His whole life begins to revolve around it. He's so disturbed by these dreams or memories, and he can't escape them. And then you find out why the alley is so important, and you realize that there is no escape. It's hard to pick a favorite character because I feel that each character plays such a significant role in the book. But if I had to pick, I would have to pick Emerson. Emerson is Paul's anchor to reality, and she really tries to be there for him because she does love him. And you know, Emerson is just a beautiful person inside and out. There's just something about her, you know, that makes Paul fall in love with her, and that made me fall in love with her as well. Least favorite, I'm going to have to go with who I believe is the most hated character in the book, and that would be Paul's father. Paul's father has never supported any of his son's decisions, not his decision to be a writer, to move to LA to pursue his dreams, to be with Emerson. Paul's father is like the perfect antagonist. his constant degradation of his son's life, it shapes Paul's entire life and what happens to him and who he becomes. So, you know, while he may not be my favorite character, I definitely see significance in the role that he plays in this book. I honestly wouldn't change a thing. I worked so long and so hard to get everything just the way that I wanted it to be. And I have never been more proud of anything that I've done in my entire life. I want people to read this book and be amazed at the story. To contact me or find out more information about False Awakenings, you can visit my Facebook page at facebook.com/Hines Courtney C. I also have a blog. I do not talk, I am just a writer.tumblr.com. If you like the book, say so. Tell your family, tell your friends, tell your co-workers, brag about it on Facebook, like and share my page. Just help me to get the word out there that the book exists and that it is worth reading. I guess I will leave you with a quote from the book. It is my favorite quote from the book, and I feel like it encompasses what I was trying to do with False Awakenings. The words that make everyone in the world stop for just a moment and question whether everything that they know is real is actually real. You know, like that fleeting moment when you're just waking up between asleep and awake, and you don't know the difference between reality and fantasy, when just for that one moment you feel with your entire soul that the dream is reality and it really happened.